Hello, this is not working. Cheaper speaker. Where's the... Alright, maybe this is better, I don't know. I hope it is. Okay, I heard better from upstairs. Okay, now we're back to it. Okay, so the goal is, I really like this piece, but I want to make it look, where's my other pieces? My other cavern pieces. Well, actually, let me get one of these. I want to make it look like this. So, they've done here, let me get this light over here. They've done here is they've, come on, lights. They've made it so that, oh yeah, so I got that light right here. They've done a gradient on this that it's basically they're taking it and they're making it look like the original caverns, which I have a bunch of, and then it goes to black where it's like the lava has charred the stone. Thanks, Han, for telling me it's better. I just needed a reboot. So what I'm going to end up doing is to transition it here. I'm going to end up kind of painting it at the same level here. I'm going to end up painting it. Let me go down a little bit. I'm going to end up painting it the same like level, where so the black will come across here, and then I'm going to do gray. Do the gray on the top and then dry brush it so it looks like this. So it's almost like it was caverns and all of a sudden this lava came up and out through it. So that's how they painted it. This one I left this way all the way black because the lava's all the way up here. It's already burned down here. So I wanted this piece specifically, the lava spill here, to be really strikingly like it's lava. So that's why I did that. Let me see if my kid that I'm painting. All right, so first things first is to get all these little crannies put in here. I wish I could get some open source music to just, or like all right, so we're just gonna basically like just drop it in because it doesn't matter if we get the orange on the white because we're gonna be going back over it again. So I'm just gonna kind of slather it in the edges here because the light will come up through it. It's thin enough, whereas it looks like it's solid here, it'll come up through. So I just want to make sure I get a good amount of orange, and I'll feather that out later. I just want to hit all of these little crevices here. Anywhere I'm seeing it come through. Because I'm going to end up putting the red, just like I'm going to match the red here on the edges. But I'll probably hit some yellow. But I'm just hitting all the cracks, whether or not I think it's going to be seen. I'm hitting all of them. Up top I won't be hitting it up there, but on the sides here, I just hit the edges here. You don't have to be perfect. That's the nice thing about it. You don't have to be perfect, especially with the way the lava is. Just Just hit the edges of it, because again, this is going to get kind of dry brushed and feathered out. And just hit the edges here. This one specifically won't be as crazy as some of the other ones. Because like this one here is going to be really nuts when you hit down in here. It's going to be pretty cool. So I'm just going to go through and do all the oranges on all these, all the orange cracks on all these pieces. Just hit it all to start, and then I'll be going through and doing black. So you get to see like the whole method for all the pieces. I gotta tell you, these ones are a heck of a lot more time consuming than the other pieces I bought. It's one of those, like, you know, it's definitely definitely glad I only have a limited amount of these, because I would probably be getting pretty annoyed. Again, I'm not worried about getting anything on the white there, mostly because it's going to be repainted black. So it's kind of a nice thing is you can be a little bit messy here. And let's just fan it out. We're just fanning, we'll get a nice lava flow. Just get this nice and like I said, I'm not too concerned about the sides here, because I'm gonna do some red, and then I'm not concerned about it being flat, because I'm gonna use the nail polish to kind of make it nice and shiny on this. So I think so far this is coming out pretty good. And I got the just get the edges here. Just like a little bit of dry brush action. Try to get. One thing I found, I was talking to my wife today when she came down, because this is in the office in the hobby room, and I was sitting there and I'm like, this just smells weird in here, and blah blah blah. I was telling her, like, it's just recently, whatever. This stuff for some reason stinks. I don't know what I'm gonna do about it. But it stinks. I'm hoping painting it will get it out. The other stuff they have doesn't stink, but it's like got this, like, it's not like stink. It's like a weird smell to it. That I don't know if it's because it's the yellow. She's like, it smells like cat pee. I'm like, well, can't have that. I can't stand the smell of cat pee. And we have cats, but so let's see. All right, I think this guy's got as much orange. I mean, I can put more on later. Move this guy out of the. I don't need this guy up here. Use it for reference later. I'm gonna do this one. This one's gonna be some fun. This one's we're gonna get a lot of the. Just paint all these cracks orange. It'll be kind of cool to see how this looks with the LED effect underneath it. I think that'll be kind of neat, but we'll see. Nice thing is I repositioned the camera now, so you can actually see what I'm looking at. Last time I had it top down, and I was trying to do crazy angles to give myself more room, and I ended up just taking the camera and placing it right where I'm looking with the light right there. So it's actually a much better view, and I don't have to think about where I'm putting the piece, because you see what I see. It's probably what I should have done from the beginning. It's all trial and error with this stuff, right? Let's see here. So this is going to look nice and messy, but once we get the black on, it's really gonna look pretty cool. I'm gonna hit the red on this. All these big swells is where I'm gonna hit that red. Should make it kind of, because I like the different tones, the different colors. Fire colors. Fire, as Beavis would say. So you're just trying to make sure, at this point, Just want to make sure that orange color is going to come through. So far it looks messy as hell. Messy AF. But I think it'll be really good when the black gets on. So yeah, what I found with most of the terrain painting is that you just have to do it like you're on an assembly line. You gotta get all your pieces together and go, alright, time to do one color. And you do one color. And then you move on to the other color. I don't know if I want to hit this. I don't know if I want to do that. I think I want the yellow to be stark yellow at the top, and then I'll go orange down here and then red. So we'll do like some orange down here. I'll just do that there. I'll let the yellow kind of be. And we'll do the red across the bottom there. That'll be kind of neat. Just like that. And we'll get this in here. Yeah, doing the white is a huge pain in the butt because you kind of have to. You hit it once and you know you're gonna have to hit it again. But we got everything there. Just hit this. Just kind of like do that dry brush flicking motion. Get those swells. Get that nice swells. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Just hit the different colors here. This is these are definitely the more interesting pieces recently to paint, because you're doing dungeons, you're doing caverns, and you're like, you know, they all look the same. They're different configurations, but they all look kind of the same. So it's kind of neat to be able to do this stuff. The nice thing about it, again, is this one, I don't have to worry so much about details. If I screw it up, I'm going to paint over it. So, always going to get a little messy. Oh, I missed that part. It's supposed to be white. I'll hit it with the black at some point. It's going to be the side of the piece. You're not really going to see it because it usually abuts against the other pieces. It's always going to be something there to hide it. Just try to go back and hit it. Alright, those two down. Looking like a creamsicle. Or like Frank's Red Hot on feta cheese or something. I don't know. Get this in here. There's like one. These ones are a little different. I don't want to do too much. I still wanted the lava river to be the accent, you know. So like I didn't do as much cracks on these ones. It was more, I wanted the river to kind of take precedence because you're coming into an adventure and you're like, I have to cross lava? Are you kidding me? I'm going to be like, the lava, the floor is lava. So I'm just going to hit some of these. Then we'll come across with the red next. Just I think the only way I'm ever going to get all this terrain done is just by streaming. Even if no one's watching, it doesn't matter because I'll feel like there's like this pressure to get it done. So I'll be like, oh, I have to get it done. Oh, big hair. I feel like cat hair of some kind. And now it's in there. Come here. Get out of there. Gets out. Gets out. Gains the house. Alright. Yeah, that's. I got a busy couple. Tomorrow I'm gonna be playing Magic with my brother on MTG Arena. We're gonna play Pauper decks. So I have to configure a couple of decks or build a couple of decks to play against them. I don't know if I'll stream it or not. We'll see. Cause usually my brother and it's kind of like our brother time. Um, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Maybe I won't broadcast the audio. I'll just do the video. I'm playing the Pauper decks. Pauper's an interesting. It's for players who can't afford rares. Rares and it's only uncommons. It's only uncommons and commons. I'm gonna build myself a black mono black deck, I think, and I'll probably go Gruul red green. Alright, so that looks pretty good. Nice and lava like. If I bump the camera, I apologize. It is a new setup. Yeah, this is kind of cool. So this is gonna come. Yeah. Just hit the edges. Just hit the edges here. You can hear my kiddo downstairs. She's screaming. She's got friends over, so they're all screaming downstairs. I hear every once in a while I hear, "Rah!" Like the Muppets are downstairs. I always wondered why that was in Britain. It's like, oh, you Muppet, like that was an insult. Because as a kid, and still do, I love the Muppets. I always wondered, like, why is being a Muppet a bad thing? I always wanted to be a Muppet. But I guess if you're in Britain and you want to be a Muppet, you're just an idiot or something. I don't know. It's like I started. I like Gordon Ramsay. I used to just be annoyed by him, but for some reason I like Gordon Ramsay. I started watching Hell's Kitchen on Amazon Prime again, or I had never watched it before, so it's not really again. Um, and he calls people donuts, and I just crack up every time. Fucking donut. It's just hilarious. Hilarious. All right. This is the river splits into a T. A lava river splits. I'd be very interested to see if someone did something like an acid river. I was saying that last time and it came to me. I was like, that'd be kind of cool because you can use the yellow, and then you could be like put like green highlights and stuff in it, and you can make a river of acid. Acid, as they say in the IT crowd. You're disabled. How did you become disabled? Acid. If you haven't watched the IT crowd, I highly recommend it. First, I asked, why haven't you watched the IT crowd? It's been on Netflix forever, and it's really good. All right, looks like we got some good stuff here. That guy's done. That guy needs to dry. Next, all right. So this one has a lot of cracks, Mike, not crags. I just hit all these bits. Just trying to kind of hit it. All the edges. All the edges. Just get it all. Just trying to cover as much of this as possible. Then I'm going to have to do light testing on it. Make sure that there aren't little like pinholes of light coming out where I don't want it to. So that's the challenge. That is the challenge. So at some point, I have all these trees to paint, so we can pull the Bob Ross, do a bunch of happy little trees, like 3D model trees. I won't actually be creating the trees like he did. That guy never knew his fame because he became so much more famous, like most artists, right after. As for his demeanor, I think more than anything. Yeah, do this here. Alright. I may or may not have music in my ear, and that, well, I do. I have music in my ear. So if I start whistling, I whistle anyway. But I need to come up with topics to talk about while I'm painting. Because I'm just talking to myself. Which I have been known to do as well. Alright. This is the end of the lava spill. Just bring it down here. Let's see. Just hit the edges here. Trying to match the whole thing all the way down so it follows the same scheme here. This is technically not supposed to get a cat out there doing something. Or it might be my wife. She might be packing all of her stuff. Oh, that's way too much. Way too much. So I'll spread it up onto the white here. And I got red I'll be covering over here. So let's see. Too much again. Too much. That edge should be like really yellow. Like it's still hot and creeping. Okay. So red will be next. Okay. Looking pretty good. That's not bad. Not bad at all. Oh. All right. Red. I don't shake it, but you gotta make sure it's. This stuff always like throws up on me. Oh. Didn't this time, just to prove me wrong. All right. Red. Okay. Same brush. We're just gonna follow this red along the edges. Start with this guy who's so yeah, we're just gonna fan it around the edges like that one over here. So we're gonna come around wherever it's kind of the same. It's kind of the same thing I did with the orange. Because the red, you see, it kind of like does this sort of cracking, which I kind of like. Because of the red doesn't. So I'm just gonna go over the edges here, kind of fan it in here on the edges. Also because I like that. I got like the black will be on the rocks there. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I like that. Just happy accidents. See the swells. Kind of glob that red in there. Kind of glob it in there. Yeah, because I'll get the. At first I was like freaking out. I'm like, oh, but like I'm allowed to hit the white. That is allowed on purpose. Fan it in there. Yeah, that's pretty good. Bring this guy over here and let's see. Can actually hit it with a little bit more color. I was trying to brush off a good amount, but I probably don't need to because I want it to kind of spread into that. It's like someone's bleeding. No, it's the lava. The lava's cooling at the edges. The lava river. That's pretty. Looks pretty messy on the camera. That's not bad. That works. I think that works pretty well. That works pretty darn well. Yeah, that's. I tell you, it looks messy as hell, but once you get the other stuff on there, it actually turns it around. Get some of these put in there. Oh, I missed that extra. I have to make sure I remember the corners where the lava is taking a turn here and is taking a turn there. So I have to make sure I get that. Make sure I get that. I'm being visited by a cat. What are you doing, Nifs? Huh? Coming to say hello? My wife said I should get a cat cam. All right. Hi, honey. What are you doing? Hi, honey. How messy as hell. It's my uncle. I don't know. I don't know which circle. This is called Hellscape, though. It could just be a regular lava flow. It doesn't have to be hell. So Yeah, let's get in here. This red in here. Kind of let it pool out from there. Looking pretty good. This is the T section of the lava. Like two sections coming together. It spouted off here in another direction. It's kind of neat. Get over here. Just gotta make sure I match. So when you put them together, they all match up. There we go. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Alrighty, look at this. Yeah, it's kind of messy work here. One thing I did find out with the setup, I have a GoPro, I have a 7. I didn't realize how hot these cameras get. A lot of people posting on the message boards, they're kind of pissed because when they're doing their extreme sport or wherever, and the whole point of the GoPro is you put it on you. I'm guessing it works fine underwater if you're in nice cool water, but the thing overheats a lot and turns itself off. It gets over 120 degrees, it turns itself off. Which is really annoying when you're trying to do work with lights or using it as a webcam. And I have a filter which has a metal housing. And basically the way it cools itself is the front lens. There's a metal housing on the front lens. It gets really, really hot. So having the housing with the polarized lens on it actually helps it cool. So which is nice, but at the same time, like they really should. You gotta do a lot of research when it comes to these things. Like there's people that say, I'm like, oh, I was riding my bike and I'm out in the sun and the thing just keeps shutting off, and it's like that sucks because the whole point of this thing is for you to be able to take it outdoors with you when you're going to record whatever you're doing. But they want you to record in short clips, and if you go in the higher resolutions, it's even worse. All right, I got that guy. I build it and blow it up. Now you build it and it has the these are 4x4s. So your mini. Where's my minis? You got your mini. This is a 2x2, so your mini moves 5 foot, another 5 feet, and then you build them. You build up your whole basic diorama, and then your minis, and you fight the monsters based upon tactical rules. It's not all theater of the mind anymore. Everyone's minis can move 30 feet for normal, or your characters can only move certain amounts, and that's like where it's at now, man. I guess there were people that were, when they played AD&D, used the minis, but I never remember using the minis for anything other than this is my character. Everything was theater of the mind. Yeah, I might need a fan in my head, but that would not be ideal. Alright. So this red really takes a little bit to dry. Where's this guy over here? Yeah. Need to give it a few minutes before I start doing the black. The black's a pain in the butt. Oh, I should do the gray up here. That's what I should do. Should do the gray. Starting at this. So we'll do the gray. A little water in there. Generally don't need water with this, but get the bigger Get the bigger guy out. Because I'm just hitting the whole thing across the top. Just going from here all the way over. Just need to glob it all in there. I can blend in the black afterwards. Oh, so you're gonna pull the Uncle Scott? Both of my uncles come in and just act like assholes? Is that the nature of it now? If it's like watching paint dry, you can change the channel. But it is like watching paint dry. In the most literal sense, because you are. Just gonna go straight across because like the lava is like charring the rock. So now I'm gonna dry brush the bottom there. So I'm just gonna just keep it on this like half and half level. And then once the gray is dry, we can dry brush that. The Cavern Colors. Just do this like this. I might have to get the smaller brush to get underneath there. I already see where some of the light might come through when it's on the LED panel. So I'll have to see. I'll have to do some touch up. Maybe the dry brush will cover it though. Yeah, sure. Is that the Netflix series? That documentary was pretty. That documentary on Netflix is pretty good. It's top score. I think that's what it is. It's serialized. It was very interesting to watch. Yeah, I don't want to go too far there. Don't want to go too far on that one. More paint. More gray. More gray. Let's see. So much paint getting put on these models. I had to do so many coats to make sure that it's almost like you wish they could cast it with multiple colors, but I guess even in this world they don't 3D paint the stuff. It's injected molded, so you got to use what you got. I'm not too worried about going too over with the gray because I'll paint the black on at the right level so that I can just make it look right. All right, I'm gonna have to use the little one. The little brush is gonna be used because this thing is gonna. Yeah, you spent many hours doing it when I cut my fingers off. A lot of Zelda action there. Alright. In order to get in here, yeah, this little brush is the ticket. This is the ticket right here. I remember we used to play Nintendo. We used to play ice hockey game, and Uncle Nee would take all the big fat guys because they used to have the best slap shot. And I remember running around them in circles with my little skinny dudes who couldn't check for a damn, but alright, looks like I got that pretty good. Yeah, the new Zelda on the Switch is really good too. Katie and I spent a long time playing that one. Man, getting in that some of it. The angles, man. I'm trying to get the angle in here. It's not the easiest. Not the easiest at all. Alright. I think the gray is good. I think the gray is all set here. Yeah, it's modular game terrain for playing D&D, Pathfinder. I play Open Legend as well. So yeah, it's modular terrain in order to do that. And I have a problem because it's like boys and toys. So I have houses, I've got dungeons, I've got caverns, I have some forests. I'm going to be doing some forests later. And you can just build it with heights. It's actually kind of funny when you play with people who are used to just playing on a mat. And when the group I have, they were playing on a mat, and then I started building the terrain up. And when you actually build up height, it changes the way people play. It's funny that it does, but it actually does. It changes the way that people deal with the tactics part of it. Alright, there's that. What else? Alright, so we're going to start with the black, I think. Start with the black, go back to the gray at some point. Yeah, this one's square based because D&D uses that. Hex based is more the wargaming. Like, actually, what else is BattleTech is hex based. 40K is not even. It's that you just use rulers and line of sight, which to me would seem to cause geek fights like you wouldn't believe. I would think. Trying to think of what else is hexed. But yeah, this is inch squares. That you butt them together, and then this one specifically is obviously the lava. The other stuff I have has more of a this is a cool LED effect. Like if you had like a tower or something, you can put in the middle here, and it actually glows up through. Like you put your fire. Have your fire glowing up through, but it's all on that inch by inch scale for counting. Like this is one of the pieces that I have that's unpainted. It's you can put your mini here. You can look at the 10-foot climb up, or so they do a bunch of different stuff. They have magnets on the bottom because you can use. They have these terrain trays. They have these terrain trays that you can use the magnets to actually build your terrain on. And here you see the grid. This is more that I have to paint. But yeah, so you can actually build it out on the tray, bring the tray out, put it down, and then people, you're gonna do it that way. You can use the trays to bless you, little one. Oh, I'm like screwing around with the camera. You can use the terrain trays to raise it up and stuff like that. Yeah, I have one, but I don't know if it's yours. I have one that's. Dave took a bunch of my stuff at one point. I don't know what happened to it. Yeah, a little altar, little dais. You can put different pegs in here. I have some castle stuff. I have town stuff. Alright, let's see how the black looks on this now. We have to be very careful with this painting now. Make sure this thing doesn't spurt up. Okay, there we go. Alright, let's see. This is going to take a couple of coats, which is, again, like watching paint dry. This will be the most interesting one to do this on. See you later, Uncle Nee. Thanks for stopping by. I'm really just trying to cover the white. Yeah. There, you see, that's what always happens is I go and slip. I slip, and that's what happens. That's right, because it's kind of charcoal-y over at this end anyway. This is what happens, though. This is what happens. As I go in. That's right. You can always wipe it off. All right. All right. Let's get this. It's all right that there's black at the edge because it's like it's charred. Anyway, just want a nice line. Just want a nice line. Yeah, so top first. Cover the white. Then cover it again. It's just going to be a lot more meticulous with this stuff. That's the hard part. I gotta be a little bit more careful with this, so I can give it that nice look there. This is going to be really cool looking. I think this is going to be pretty darn dope looking. When it gets done with all these cracks in it, it's going to be pretty darn cool. Especially with the light coming up through it. There we go. Yeah, it's definitely going to need a couple of coats. This is so annoying. But it is what it is. Am I using a 1? I am using a 3. You almost want to glob more paint on, but you don't want to lose your details. So you don't want to glob too much. Too much paint globbed would cause a problem. Let me make this a little bit. Do this a little bit like this. There we go. It's a little better because I'm putting my hands up here more. This is like looking like Halloween. All the orange and the black. Ugh. This little mini volcano here. This will be kind of cool looking with the light coming up through it. This is where you have to be equally careful. Not touch the stuff you've already painted, because I'm good at doing that too. I am just like a messy painter. My hand coordination is not the best. Yeah, this is much more slow going on these pieces because you want to make sure that you're careful. Although it's not as infuriating as trying to paint eyeballs. There's that. And I already know I'm going to have to do a second coat. I already know that's happening. I need this light to be more over me. So I guess I should probably get that other light I got down here, up here. That's what I need to do. Come on. Get on that piece. Come on. There we go. What I got there? Alright. So, oh, that thing went up there. There's my tweezers. I just saw them. There. Thank you. It's annoying. Truly annoying. Get those little hairs in there. Either from a brush, from a cat, from my head. And don't you understand? I gotta get this music out of my head. Got the inside of this volcano completed. It's when I hold my breath on the most because I want that yellow to pop out. Just be like, not have like a black streak in it. Because that yellow is supposed to be like yellow hot, white hot. There we are. There we are. This is gonna be a real pain in the butt. Be careful so I don't have to do it for like wash it off and do it over again. Having problems not being able to post my hands to stabilize what I'm doing. Usually with the minis I've got a wooden pedestal that I use. And I can post my hands on it. But with these I can't. I mean, I can put them on. Oh man. I have to give myself, my arms are. It looks messy, I'll tell you that. It won't though. It won't though once I get it dry brushed. Well, once I get the other coats on too. Once I get the other coats on, it'll be good. Just looks really messy right now. I don't know, it's starting to come together. Yeah, I made the mistake of painting the side of that one, so I'm not going to paint the sides until I'm done with the top. There we go. Yeah, this black is just so watery. It's like, just like when you color a coloring book, you hit the edges first, hit those edges, and then come back around and hit the middle. But that black just wants to just not cover. It's being a pain in the butt. It's just not good on me. It takes like 2 or 3 coats just to get it to go and look like this. I gotta give myself a break here. My arms are hurting. Just give it a second. Oof. All right. Like I said, that's the hard part. Is I gotta try to post my hand to steady off the piece itself. Not the easiest position to be in. Not easy at all. I think I'm getting it though. Just gonna get that first coat of black on, and then the rest of it will start to sharpen up once I get the second. Hopefully I don't need a third, but I needed a third on the other piece. And it's entirely frustrating sometimes. Because like when I did the gray on this piece, the gray on this piece was like 1 coat. But we'll see. Hopefully it's only 2 coats, but I have a feeling it's gonna be 3 to make it look the way I want it to look. And I'll have to light test it too. This is where you can see it's painfully obvious that my eye-hand coordination is crap. Just trying to write a straight line. I can't even do that. So being unable to paint sometimes it gets very frustrating. But I can't steady my hand to actually, I have to concentrate really hard just to make sure the paintbrush goes where I want it to go. Which takes, it can be frustrating, but it's about slowing down. I found that a lot of the stuff that I do now, no matter what it is, work, um, any number of things, that I am clumsy as it is. So like when I'm in the kitchen, say cleaning up, doing the dishes, I like bunk my head on something, or I smack my hand on something, or I drop something, or whatever. It's because I'm trying to go too fast. And it's just slow down. So it's even more apparent here that I just need to. I'm trying to get at least that one edge or one line. I need to just slow. And it's like I watch my daughter, and she is just so good at control, the fine motor skill that she has with the control she has with a brush or with a pen or with any number of things. I find myself incredibly jealous of that. I gotta work a lot harder to try and get that, what comes naturally to her, I guess, and other people. This looks messy, but second coat will make it look really good. Ugh. Let's see. I don't know how these cracks are gonna look out. They'll look okay once I see some of these other pieces here. You gotta go back over them again, it looks like. Oh, I'm not looking that bad at all. It's really just because it's so watery on the first coat that it looks crappy, I think. Once I get the other coats of black in, it should look a lot better. And then the dry brush will make it pop. Pop, pop. Stole that from Community. But if you've seen Community, you'll get the reference and you'll laugh. Alright. Choking up, like I choke up on a bat. You choke it up on the brush, you get too, you want to be a little bit loose. Not too loose, but loose enough that you. At the top of this little volcano here, I'm going to try not to get in it because I want to put the yellow on it. Or orange in there or something. I'll put a color in there. Little lava pimple. Huh. That's funny. This is again where I have to be. I have to just concentrate so damn hard to make it so my hand goes where I need it to go. Good for you, motorcycle. I'm proud of you for having a loud motorcycle. Yeah, it just looks so crappy until it gets the other coat. I don't know why this black is runny like it is. Usually it's... No, actually, every other time I've used it, I've had to apply it a couple times, so... I was being so open and free with the orange, going, I don't care, because I don't need to. But now I gotta cover all the white I can. And I covered some of it with orange. Just gotta find the stone, figure out where its edges are. There we go. That one right in there. That one right in there. Just this little stone in the middle of the lava. Nice and easy. This brush pretty good. Pretty good. Just getting the different angles. There we go. Getting there. It's not the easiest thing to... If I had to do this, like I'm lucky I don't have a huge amount of pieces, but it is more than likely why a lot of people buy them painted, but it's just so much more expensive to buy them painted. And when I know I can do it myself, when I know I can actually just buckle down and do it, why wouldn't I just do it myself? So I do it myself. But that means I actually have to do it. It's like anything you like, though, or anything you enjoy. You just gotta do it. If you want to write something, write it. Don't let your doubts hold you back, or don't even just do it. Even if it's not any good, you gotta revise and do better and try to get better. All right, over here. Yeah. Dang, this thing is. I was very excited to do this piece, and now I'm going, oh man. I wish this black would just set in the first painting. There's a nice big stone. There's a good big stone there. And yeah, it's nice bigger. These are nice. I got some bigger stones over here. Make this one go faster. Oh man. Oh, there's another little volcano there too. A couple little mini volcanoes, lava pimples. Yeah, forests are a little different, a little bit more interesting, a little bit more forgiving. These pieces are a little bit more advanced, it seems. The forests are cool because you can just pick out like, oh, that's a fern. Do the fern a certain color, and you just put different colors in different places, knowing you're just going to dry brush it after. And then you dry brush it. you're pretty much good to go. So any little mistakes you make kind of don't matter. Whereas this one, I kind of want to make sure that the light coming through looks really, really cool. Well, this is actually looking pretty freaking badass, actually. Now that the rest of the stuff's starting to fill in, it's like it can be a little messy because it's just lava. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. It's like seeing the forest for the trees. Just so close. When you first start, you're like, oh, it just looks awful. But then as you start to get the other bits, as those start to come together, actually starts looking pretty good. Starts to look really good. There's this little stone here that I'm gonna drop a little bit of black on, just this one little stone right here. I gotta make sure I get it just right because it's like a little stone island. It's out in the middle of nowhere, but I like that it's this one little stone here. Cool. All right, let's keep at it. This piece has been, the other pieces are going to go pretty quick. This is actually the one piece that has a lot of this stuff. This one over here has some too, but the other pieces are pretty pretty easy once over. So I'll just keep hitting this one up and get it done. That's looking pretty good. I want to build this lava river. I don't know that I'm going to get it done tonight. I hope I am, but I don't think so. Because if I have to do another black coat, it's going to have to be possibly another night. But I want to assemble the lava river of the hellscape. That'll be the accomplishment. I'll assemble the lava river and I'll use some macro lens stuff with some minis. Maybe get some effects, put some special effects to it or something. Need a fog machine. Oh, they're selling on the new Kickstarter. They're selling a little mini fog machine for putting into the mini volcano piece, which I have, and other pieces. And it works without using like fog juice. It actually just uses with steam, I think. That's what they were touting. And it was on I think it's only like 25 bucks. Because you have to paint it. Oop, sorry for that. I keep taking that thing. Even if there's some small like pinholes of orange coming through, it'd be like kind of neat. Like it's like an ember or a rock that is on fire there. So it's like I sit there and I doubt myself or something, and I go, no, that was the right call. It looks good. It's like you can't. I sometimes just can't see the end result. So that freaking there's hair everywhere. Get this in here. These little stones at the edge. All these little stones here. I have to do the whole edge here too. Once I get this piece done here. Yeah, this is probably going to take 3. We'll see. Yes, it's going to definitely. All right, let's get this side done. Should go pretty quickly. All right, this side actually goes pretty quick. Mostly because you're not worried about sides so much because the sides butt up against each other. I mean, you can see the side sometimes if you do a build that has the edge of it showing. It's rare, but you have it set up so there's like a step down or something like that. This is the lava terrain, so you're not going to see too much the sides, I don't think. Alright, so there's that, and now I gotta get this edge here done. Cool. Yeah, that came out really freaking good. I don't know why I was so worried about it. I gotta have more faith in my abilities sometimes. I guess it's because I think it's like, oh, I spent all this time. It's like, okay, so what? If you screwed up, just do it again. Just do it again. That looks pretty good. For a first coat, that looks really good. I do declare. I do declare. That one's pretty good. Ugh, I need a minute to rest my elbows. Do I have a kitty down there? I do have a kitty down there. She's hanging out in her little cubby. Little Rue's down there, hanging out. So I should do this one because the rest of these should be a pushover. This will be pretty straightforward, I think. Oh, maybe it's because I'm leaning on these wires. I can't help. I'm gonna save the big one in the middle till later because I know my thumb will go, and then I'll move it here and I'll move it here. So I'll just stick to the top on the. Oop, sorry again. There I am. Just gotta get this thing. All right. There we go. There we go. Yeah, this will be pretty quick. This will be a pretty good one. This will be nice and easy because the next ones are going to be just doing the side banks. So maybe I'll be able. What time is it? 9:46. I might be able to get the first coat on everything. Wanted to do more of that, but gotta let it dry too. Well, it's not that humid today, so should dry faster. This is. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not gonna look forward to doing the other really craggly ones, like these ones. These ones are gonna be, well, they're more raised, I guess. So probably not that bad. We'll see. See how that goes. Just deal with what's in front of me right now. Just deal with what's in front of me. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, I've already touched that rock 3 times. Glad I didn't do it first. Whew. There we go. Some of this orange just isn't gonna come through. Just gonna have to deal without it. But that orange there is nice and heavy. Yeah, and the red doesn't look good now, but once you put the clear nail polish on it, it looks really cool. It's almost like a little bit muted right now. you add the gloss to it, and it just looks really cool. Extra step, but well worth it. It doesn't take that long to apply it either. Makes it look nice and glossy. The here's a nail polish for like slime in the caves that I do. Anything that you can add it to, use it for ice, obviously. You can use it for that. Obviously, anything you want to look wet, but the really does work for the slime. It's kind of cool. Not as concerned with these banks, since all the other ones are kind of the same. I might have to go to bed early tonight. I don't know why I'm painting that one all the way down. I'm just going to end up touching it. Because that's what I do. I'll paint a section going, oh, that's great. And I end up putting my finger in it. And then I put my finger in it, and then I touch that part, and then I put my fingerprint somewhere else. It's one of those things. Let's see. Motion detected at the front door. I think one of the kiddos is going home. And my phone is going off for some reason. I am on call this week, so I should probably check that. I gotta go close the door. All right. Did close the door. Okay. Let's get this thing done. I keep kicking that tripod, but you know what? It's the best place for it. Because the running the tripod up on the table, while it was kind of neat, didn't give the right angle. When I was painting the pieces and looking at them, I couldn't get a good angle for people. Some people were like, I can't see the piece. And here, they couldn't see it well. If I brought the camera down, I had to bring it down too far. To bring it down too far. Then I couldn't see what I was painting. So that made it kind of kind of like learning. People have different rigs for doing their opening videos or whatever. So I had to go look and try to figure out what's the best solution. Too much paint on the brush. Should probably wash it off. Start fresh. Do it after this rock. I'll do it after that rock. All right. Give it a nice washing. Sometimes you get too much loaded up on the brush. Okay. Let's try this again. 10 o'clock. Alrighty. Get this going. This one's coming along pretty quickly. Wish this black would set a little better on the first coat, but hey. I need to get some of my minis painted too. I owe my brother some. I have like 2 minis left on the Blood Bowl team that I painted for him that I need to finish. I've just been taking way too much time to get it to him. So I need to get that done. And it's like only just some touch-ups too. Like they're almost ready to go. I need to get those done. Get those to him. He's out in Colorado. I'll get that out to him, and then I've got like 3 or 4 other Blood Bowl teams I gotta paint. All this miniature terrain I need to paint. Just need to get it done. This is coming out pretty darn good. I think the white just throws me off. Once you get the black in, it really just comes around. I just wish it was better, like darker. Don't go fast. This is where I need to slow down. Don't go too fast. You get excited about stuff. See, I'm gonna touch. I knew I was gonna touch the edges. All right, let's get this big rock here. Load some of the paint on the top. Nice and easy around the edges here. My best to cover the white. Well, could you imagine if your character was in the adventure and like someone was like, yeah, the proper idea, go jump on that stone right in the middle of the lava flow. Which character would do that? Self-preservation. I'd be like, oh, I don't know if I want to step on this. Okay, cool. Make sure I don't touch the black on the edges of the piece that I just painted. Let's get this bit here. Nice and easy. Little one right down there. It's gonna be a real pain in my ass. There we go. Cool. That looks pretty good. Oh man. This gray is finally done. Cool thing about this is if the black gets a little bit up on the gray, I'm not too concerned because I'll be dry brushing that bit anyway. And it's supposed to be kind of like the lava's burning the color of the gray stone. So I want to be careful not to hit the lava. I don't necessarily care about hitting the gray part because it should be pretty good. So it's a really interesting looking piece. The lava kind of flows underneath it, like almost like it flows off and stops, or maybe it's like flowing off to the edge there, although that is tighter, so it probably wouldn't work that way. Oh, both of those are tight, so that's where it ends, up against another piece or something, like a wall. Yeah, I'm not really concerned about these cracks either. I know I put the orange there, but generally don't really care about the cracks on this one because it's more like the lava is what you're looking at, not the cracks themselves. There we go. careful. These little stalactites. The angle is just awful. It's not the easiest. Not the easiest at all. Once again, though, if I hit the gray, I'm not too concerned, because I'll see if I can get a dry brush in here, which I probably can. Not too worried about that. Really what I'm trying to do is match this up. These pieces here. Gonna give them the same level of where the black and gray are. So they'll match when you build your build, whatever your dungeon is. Alright, so that's good. I just get all these little stalactites. Sometimes I'll put extra paint on the brush when I'm reaching in between something, because I just need it to nice and easy get in there, but you don't have enough paint on the brush and it just doesn't do anything. A little bit extra and a little bit more careful so as not to get on anything else, and then you can actually coat the section you're looking to coat. Be nice and easy here. Nice and easy. These things have been burned. Yeah. That's what I knew I usually do. I always freaking put my fingers in the paint. Every time. I'll blend this up with the dry brushing. So it's not just a stark black. Okay. Looks pretty good. Looking pretty good. Just have to be. This is where it's like gotta be real careful. It's just not the easiest. Right where it hits, because you want, this is a kind of a signature piece. You like the, you know, like the other pieces, like, oh yeah, lava river, but like here, this piece could be, like maybe they have to go under the lava here and into that area. Trying to make sure it actually looks pretty good. You don't want to screw it up because it looks so much different. It's like how many times your players, you just put, especially with the terrain and stuff, I'll just put something there and they're like, oh, what's that? It's just so funny because you'll put something random like in the build or in the dungeon and people get so suspicious of it. And sometimes they just can't let it go. And they're like, think it's like some important thing, and you're like, no, no, you don't see anything, blah, blah, blah. Not that important. And yet they just get so obsessed with it sometimes. When you just place it there for. Oh, look at that. What did I do? How did I do that? I must have dragged the brush. It's alright, it's supposed to be charred there anyway. Alright, see? That's what I'm telling you. I am good at doing stuff like that. Alright, do I have anything on my fingers? No. Alright. I should be grabbing the lava. So that's what needed to be done. I think I'm only going to get this piece done and I'm going to have to go to bed. And then do the rest. Brother and I don't play too late, so I can get on and do some more painting tomorrow. I'm actually looking forward to kind of seeing how this lava river looks. When it's all put together on the LED base. It'd be pretty badass. Pretty badass looking. Big truck going up the road. Oh, man. The thing is, I have to come up with subjects to talk about, though. I was never one to be like a radio host. You pretty much have to be like a radio host on this when you're trying to talk to yourself, concentrate, and paint. Nice lines, nice lines. So I'm guessing 2020 is closed, right? Everyone's just closing 2020. So PAX Unplugged probably won't happen. So I wanted to do some videos, some con videos. Videos for the conventions and stuff. That is my elbow. Not feeling good. Leaning on it too much. I need to get this piece in though. Get this piece done. I want to get this one done. About the black. First coat of the black. There we go. Let's see. Just gotta make sure you're. I almost dipped it in the other black one. Alright. This is. Alright, get lost on this piece. Don't want to pull that out, that's the camera. Nice lines. Finish strong. Alright, look at this guy here. This guy has 2 rocks. I put a lot on the top. A little nice little in between. I want the light to shine through the bit in the middle of those. So I want to make sure I don't screw this one up. Just need to get the rock painted, but allow the light. That'll work. Just nice and easy. It's not easy. There we go. There's that bit. I get the second guy done, and then I'm gonna have to be done for the night. Alright. That looks about right to me. Looks about right. Alright, cool. So I've got a bunch of black done. I'll have to come back at it tomorrow. Whew, alrighty.